So it's the next day after my fix on the water pump oil seals. Now the coolant reservoir, you won't see it. Let me wobble the bike a little bit. There you go, you might see that. It's still up higher than I did it. So currently we're above the max. So over the next few days I'm going to be keeping an eye on that and making sure we're not losing any more coolant. Second to that, I really didn't do a good enough flushing system of the oil, and the oil isn't the right grade at the moment, which is good. I want it to get everywhere and clean the old stuff out. I also completely forgot to even just clean out the oil filter, because it's a kind of mesh one, isn't it? So basically I need to order a new oil set again for this. But saying that, this is possibly being traded in on Monday, so maybe I'll wait a few days. I don't want to put another 60 quid into something. I don't think it's unsafe, guys. I think I'm going to do one more oil change probably on Sunday, and that should get out the last few bits of the old crap that's in there, and then I think we're probably good. But I am going to keep an eye on the reservoir and the cooling system and everything else. Just for a quick update, guys, I've been riding this bike for 2 days now since I did the seals. The coolant level is at the same place. It's above the max. It shouldn't be above the max, but it is. It hasn't gone down. It's definitely, look, I've just ridden, it's definitely milky, but remember, it's not as milky and it's not as frothy as how it was getting. And I think I messed up because I just didn't clean the oil filter, so there would have been an amount of oil in there that didn't come out. My guess is with the next oil change, which I'll probably do sooner rather than later, that it's all been flushed out. I mean, we're still going to get tiny bits in for a while, but I think this problem has solved. I'm still wondering if there's a slight pinhole leak. I can't tell, but the coolant level's not going down up there. There's no clear sign of a coolant leak from the radiator. My guess at this stage is that seal worked and there's no more issues, but it's very hard to tell one day later. It's definitely a milky oil, and we know it's new. I put it in yesterday or the day before, but it's not as bad. Will it get as bad? I don't know. And one thing that I kind of remind myself of is that this was still oily. Look, there's a separation on the top. Look. Do you know what's really interesting is that the bulk of the oil was foamy. The bit in the glass window went back to looking like solid, but actually the rest was like this, very contaminated oil. I think we solved the problem. I'm still looking at new bikes on the weekend. The Triumph 400 Scrambler and the GB 350X or S, whatever it is. But I do think this is okay for now. I still think it needs 2 new tyres. I still think there's going to be coolant issues coming up. I still think I'm going to have to put 500 or 600 into it soon. So I should look at this an upgrade. But I'm glad that for now this seems okay.
The next day.
Hi everyone and welcome back. Rear brakes on this mutt. Now, this bracket system is a faff. It's horrible. I can't stand it. You actually have to take the rear spindle out to get the brake caliper and pads out. Here's the new pads. I think the old pads are contaminated, basically. I think they probably got fluid on them. It might have even been me, although they weren't working from the day I got them. I've got bucket loads of brake cleaner as well. Really, I want to change these pads. I'm going to tell you straight up what's likely to happen. This is a 71 plate bike. So what is this? I think this is 21. So it's 4 years old. It's very, very likely that I can't get the retaining screws out. It happens very regularly on Chinese bikes. Hopefully I'm humbled and wrong today, because I really just want this to be an easy changeover. But there's a chance with Chinese bikes that they seize in, basically. All the metals react with each other, they seize in, and then they round off when you put an Allen key in and try and turn it. It's very likely that happens. If that happens, a new caliper is 80 quid. I'll wait till next week, till payday, and then I'll get a new one because it's needed. But my hope is that some new pads and a good proper clean of this. Look, and I've used brake cleaner on it. Look, so I really want to get it all clean and no longer contaminated. Let's try the back. Right, clean finger here, look. Yeah, so that's not going to help with the braking at all. So we need it to be braking well. So let's get it on a rear stand or on an axle stand. Someone told me off in the past for calling it a rear stand, but all it is a stand at the rear of the bike, right? But it's not an axle stand either, is it? Anyway, let's get it on the stand and let's get this off in hope that we can just clean it up, change the pads over, and we have no issues. But let's see. If I find some time today or tomorrow or whenever, I'm going to adjust the valves on that Harrier. If I find some time over the next couple of days, that Harrier is going to be back on the road ready for MOT. I say that as if it's easy. But it needs the exhaust is the first thing. I remember that being a good riding bike. But this is kind of my next go-to. I have someone interested in this already, a local. So I do want it to be done properly and I do want it to be done soon. That's the plan. Front brake's great, engine is great, body works fine. It has its odd little nip here and there, but nothing major. It's a 1250 bike all day long. These mutts are very popular. Saying that, mutt just went into administration, didn't it? But very popular bikes. I don't know why. They are better made than your average Chinese, but I have to be honest, you wouldn't know this was a Chinese bike. The wiring's thicker and more appropriate. All of the kind of bolts and screws, they're anodized and they're all just better look. And yeah, it's definitely a better built bike for a Chinese one, but it is still a Chinese bike. Okay, let's look at what we need to do. Here, and I've got full access to it. Let's see if it's hand tight anyway though. That one's fine. That one's fine. So these should be caps rather than the whole spindles. Let's check. Pads will fall out. I mean, they are shocking really. I hope you can see them. Shocking really. Right, let's blast that. Alright, remember that retaining clip has to go in. Let's blast the crap out of that. One at the bottom, and I'll spread them out in a minute. Like that, exactly like that. I'll give that cleaner a minute to disappear, and then I'll pump the brakes. I don't want to get that. Actually, that cleaner's fine. It can go on the pads anyway. But yeah, I'll give it a minute. Repump the tyre. Drop it off the stand. We should have a better rear brake there. So the back brake isn't as solid as I'd like it. It's just not. But the new pads would need to bed in a bit. They'll have a coating on them. So I'm really in two minds as to whether I kind of need to leave it for now and see. The brake pedal's solid, so everything's working. It's just that part there. I think they'll bed in and get grippier. Just you can see, and I'm going to be honest guys, this is a bodge. But it's the only bodge workable at the moment. So eventually I bought the wrong sensor for the cylinder, for the master cylinder. I bought the wrong sensor on top, so I switched to one I just had. I mean, it's not going anywhere and it works. It's MOTable, it's safe. Look, I'm gonna put my foot, look, foot on the brake, look. See, so it's doing the job. So I'm using it, but it's not my finest hour. All this crap's coming off. I'm gonna put either a cable tie or something else on this battery. I trust it's the right size battery for the panel to go on. I've got the panel, so I'm gonna take all this crap off and put the panel back on and give it all a quick clean. So I'm not happy with the rear brake, I'm gonna be honest, but I don't really know what to do. It's doing its job. It just isn't as solid as I would like, really. I can't forget the horn. It has a bit of a horn issue. I'm guessing the wires just need a quick clean. Otherwise, we know how easy horns are to change. I'm sure a quick clean with the wiring would sort that out. So the bike's had a clean and a buff. It's come out quite nice. Needs a couple of bits. I'm still working on the horn. I've got a smaller number plate over there. That's ridiculous. Both side panels are on now, which is nice. Look. Nice. Yeah. It's cleaned up. Alright. I'm doing something that is very controversial. You got two options on this bike: paint the exhaust black, but actually it's a cheap bike. Let's make a feature out of it. Let's wrap it. It will look great. It won't. It's bad for a bike, but it will look great. Someone will love it. So that's what I am doing. I'm wrapping it. Yeah, I just think it'll give it a bit more bulk and it'll look a bit cleaner. So gloves on and get wrapping.